I have up on the screen what I would consider like a final sheet for submittal. I have two of these. I'll show you this one first and discuss it. This is kind of from across the street, shooting back at the architecture. I moved way back. At first, I was very close to the corner, and that was making for a very dynamic looking, facade with that 2-point perspective. But it made a vertical composition. The building became, the width of this frame became very shallow or narrow, and it was more like a vertical composition. So by pulling way back with the camera and then cropping that really tight, like I was using a telephoto lens, I get a much more, clear portrayal of what the facade looks like from this angle. I've also delivered this as a ray traced rendering and then saved it and then dragged it onto the sheet. And if you can't do ray traced to teapot rendering, because of hardware issues, submitting this with just realistic rendering would be fine. Just make a note in the narrative why that you had some hardware issues or something like that. You'll notice how nice the vegetation looks once it's rendered in ray trace. The flowers on the shrubbery starts to pop, and it really makes for a very nice looking scene. So that's sheet 1. And then the other sheet, I pick another view. I probably I could spend a lot of time with this, but my biggest problems with the way the rendering looks right now is I didn't put a floor in underneath the bump out, and we're getting some light casting shadows that kind of give that away. But that's fine for this. This was really not intended to be the development of a building, but really just kind of the working through of a facade concept. So I hope you take it like that. Some people have wanted to add floors and roofs to be more accurate, and that's fine if you want to do that also. But for most of the objectives of this, it was really to kind of work with articulating this facade. And I hope you notice things, how much is added with the trim work, how much contrast, or the nice use of 2 materials, and in this case actually 3 materials, which is really probably pushing it, but that's as many different kinds of colors and surfaces as you'd want in your architecture, but how well they tend to kind of reinforce each other. The white painted surface against the brickwork against the coarser limestone at the foundation. So another view, another sheet, and then remember to add your narrative. And then I filled in the space with a south elevation, played way down to 1/8 inch scale. So 2 sheets at least. You can submit more if you've really gotten into it. If you wanted to change lightings or do any other experimentation, that's your own learning experience, and I'm happy to review it and grade you accordingly. So I hope it was a rewarding project for you.